What's up guys, Salty Diver here. This is a video that I got another request for. I guess some people are curious about some of the tools that we use in commercial diving. So today I'm going to show you Kirby Morgan Superlight 17K. This is a little bit of an older dive hat, but these are built so well that with the proper maintenance they can last for 20 plus years. After this video, you should not expect to just run down to the dive store, pick one of these up, pop it on your head, and open a dive company. Don't do that, you will die. The 17K, along with all the Superlights, are around 40 pounds. They're pretty hefty pieces of equipment. I guess I'll just take you through a little bit of an overview of the hat itself. This is called a second stage regulator, and this is where the air that you breathe comes from. If you've been a diver for a while, you might be surprised to know that these are not much different from a regular scuba regulator. Kirby Morgan tends to manufacture these to a higher standard than most diving companies. Kirby Morgan is also well known for inventing what's called the dial-a-breath. On a regular regulator, you can't really adjust how well you breathe on it, and what this does is it increases or decreases the amount of force that it takes to breathe. And that's important because whenever you're diving real deep, 300 feet plus, the air that you breathe actually gets much denser and it makes it a lot harder to breathe. So this reduces the amount of effort that it takes. This mechanism here operates what's called a nose block, and it goes in and out like that. I'll show you on the inside. There's a pad in there that pushes up against your nose so you can breathe against it to equalize. On to the business end. This is called a free flow. The free flow does a few things, actually, while doing one thing. When you open it up, there's a vent inside that runs across the faceplate. So when you're underwater, the faceplate will get fogged up quite a bit, and you open that, and it clears your faceplate. Also, if you're getting sweaty, it's nice to have that blast of air in your face. Cools you off a little bit. Something else that's important, if a diver was to go unconscious underwater, the standby diver would jump, and if the diver wasn't breathing, they could turn this on to make sure that they always had air going to them. This part's called a side block, and this is where air gets moved through the hat. This is what's called a non-return valve. If you've ever seen that episode of Mythbusters, this is the piece that they disabled to make the hat crush. You've got quite a bit of air in here, and under those great outside pressures, if air was to escape the hat, all of the pressure and weight of the water would actually crush the hat. This makes sure that air can only flow one way, so if we were to lose surface pressure, air from the hat couldn't escape back and suck you through it. This is called an Egs valve, and it's emergency gas supply. Whenever we dive, you'll see that we always have a tank on our back, even if we're not diving scuba. That's our emergency air supply. We normally only dive with enough extra air to get us to the surface if there was a bad emergency, but you always keep your bailout bottle on. If you're a commercial diver and you dive with your bailout bottle off, you're dumb. Alright, so on the underside here, I don't know if the light's going to allow me to really show it well, but this is what's called a whisker. And whenever you exhale, this is where your exhaust air comes out. And if you think about it, it's really smart to do this because whenever we're working, we don't want a bunch of bubbles in our face. So this directs it back and away from the head. If you're like me, you're probably curious about this next bit because I was really curious about how it worked before I became a diver. And it's what's called the neck dam. The neck dam comes out, and what you do is you just put it over your noggin, and what happens is that this neoprene bit here creates a seal against your neck, and this O-ring creates a seal with the hat. And as you can see, it's all clamped in and it's quite secure. Alright, so inside here we've got the Snoopy, or hat liner. It's just the pad. This is the nose block I was talking about earlier. So you can pull it out and push it in as you need to block your nose. This is called an oral nasal, and it creates a seal against your nose and mouth so that you can breathe out and in fresh air, so that the air inside the hat doesn't turn into carbon dioxide as you're breathing. We've got a one-way valve on the inside here that allows fresh air to come in, but CO2 to not go out in the hat. On the other side, we have your microphone, where your comms go. Remember I was talking about the free flow? This is that air train I was talking about.
Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed it, like it. If you want to see more, subscribe. If you want to know more about becoming a commercial diver, leave it in the comments. I'll be happy to respond. Until next time, and as always, stay salty.